Good evening, everyone. We have with us today Lieutenant Colonel Taposh Munjal. He's an ex-NDA, served with the Corps of EME for 22 years. And while he was there on a posting to Delhi, he did a full-time MBA from the prestigious Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi University, through an executive program. Further, and then he went on and he also did his DGR course from the IIM Lucknow, and he continued networking in the consulting. As of today, he works with KPMG, which is another very prestigious firm. It's one of the big four consulting firms, and he's an associate director there, heading the portfolio for aerospace and defense, wherein he advises clients who are defense PSUs oblique private sector players in the defense companies. He's also an visiting faculty to National Institute of Financial Management, Faridabad. And today he would be helping us understand the transformation journey he did while transitioning from uniform to where he is today in the consulting space. Taposh, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Now, this is one thing that again I was telling in the beginning. This journey is not 6 months into doing a resettlement course. It's a transition journey. You have been in a particular service for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? Now you come back to a change management. More importantly, it is you first, and then those 6 months of resettlement course that most of us will do. That's the time when you reach out. Uh, I was addressing a particular course. I spoke to their course coordinator, and I realized the dependency of ours of saying that the resettlement course coordinator or the placement committee would do the entire job work. No, sorry. Welcome to the real world. And collaborative work is still there, but we need to fight a little bit of individual battle. Of course, team will work, but if you talk about individual battle, yes, you will have to work on and you'll have to approach people. It is very, very individual. I want to get into consulting, so I'll have to approach. You don't want to get into consulting, you want to get into admin and security role. You please would be approaching people of that role. So, despite being collaborative, it becomes a lot of it comes as an individual process to look into your transition. It's a pretty common thing to say that if you are getting consulting, your network is your net worth. How much you can expand your digital footprint, how much you can expand your network is always going to benefit you how you look at transition. So we talk of digital footprint via all the social media network, whether it is LinkedIn or Twitter, and be pretty cautious with that because with during my interaction with recruiters or somebody, we would even for a client, we would sometime or most of the time will always look for the digital behavior of a person. You are on Twitter and you are ranting about something, possibly it might catch the eyes of the recruiter, right? So it's a balance of two. Exploit your military networks. Your biggest network is your military network. Please use that and get onto the on people who have moved out. And I suggest once you're looking and moving out of any of company or any of the consulting companies, try to find a contact who can give you a recommendation. It it actually puts you at least 10 steps ahead from for a job if there's an opening and about 20 or 30 odd people have applied. Sorry, 200 or 300 people applied, and the recruiter would just scan the entire CVs through the AI, and he will shortlist you looking for those keywords. And at least once you are recommended or referred by somebody, you jump that sifting through the automation, and the hiring manager knows there is a serious recommendation for it. We talked of events and conferences. This is one of them. Professional networking events create opportunity for interaction with industry parts. Very true. Vipul has that event. We had one last year. Unfortunately, I could not attend, but yes, the way it was spoken of, it is amazing. And please go and sit. We find time with them, sit with them, understand it. Then there are a lot of professional organization, industry think tanks, online forums and discussions which you can be part of. There are groups which you can be part of. You can put in your knowledge. You can understand how the industry works. So all these forums, what happens is you get a time to interact with people. Possibly I don't have a capability, but sitting with them, I might have that capability. A few days back, I was sitting in a forum which was discussing one of the port authorities, how they look at disaster management. A typical me as Fauji, I would say yes, I've done disaster management. But when he put through the report in front of me of the previous risk assessment or risk assessment or the disaster management plan of that port, I was surprised the kind of figures which were there, the kind of simulation which I've gone through. So these two becomes now a reading point for me. Ki if I want to have a disaster management plan for a port, or if I want to have a disaster management plan for a critical airfield, which I must to suggest, or if I'm working with an aviation company, if I have to suggest particular risk management, I need these many factors to come in. Possibly there are some which are related to the sea, but there will be some there will be some or a simulation software which is related to of when the aircraft should be in the air or some disaster management would be in the air or inland waterways would be in the air. So it gives a lot of perspective. So the learning is continuous. And this I'll come to towards in the last. Vipul, I have finished. I'll take about 5 minutes in the end for this slide number 9, 10, and 11. Rest, you can put the house open for the questions now. So, preparation of the interviews, I was telling, prepare your stars. Uh, Please don't try to make your CVs on your own. Honest advice. There are professionals who do it. Naukri.com will do it for 3,000 rupees. There is a good professional who would make it for 10,000, 15,000 rupees. He or she will make your cover letter. They will make your LinkedIn profile. They'll manage your LinkedIn profile. My request is we are moving out. Please invest. Invest in these. These actually are investments which you're going to put the bread on your platter for next 10, 15, 20 years, whatever you want to work. Understand that you have to be part of a storytelling. The entire career has to come as a storytelling. You have to showcase your problem solving abilities, star, as I told you. Communicate your leadership skills effectively because this gives you a lot of emphasis once you're moving out. There are lack of leaders outside. People who can take up the challenge, work around it, find a solution, and come back. And that is where we are good at. My boss, he says that having projects good on is good on the team. There are managers. His favorite time is that he takes a morning 8:30 call every day. So that practically ensures that at 8:30, between 8:30 and 45, your charter for the day is sorted. By end of the day, I have to give him this. I have to take out this from my team and finished. That actually puts a lot of things into play. I start my day early, 8:30, I finish my day early, right? And if you feel that once you're preparing for an interview, read about that company. Who is interviewing you? You can go through his LinkedIn profile. What has been his history? You can go through that. What has been company been doing in last 5, 10 years? What do you think it has been in news for? What do you think it can showcase itself for? Please prepare for that in addition to what you're preparing for yourself. And the structure and this is what the corporate culture, a few points, very few points, plus understand that there is structure and hierarchy there. You will find yourself age gap. You are 44, 45. Your partner, your equivalents are much younger to you. So will might have to adapt to that. There is no your junior party, like there is no serving outside. People call you Taposh across the board. He or she might be like 20, 22 years. You might not be conversant with that kind of behavior when people talk to you. So you have to adjust to that. Communication and collaboration is more important. There are no files. Everything is on laptop. So you need to talk, you should have interpersonal skills. There would be a learning curve to get to that. So when I joined, at least a month I took to understand how my laptop works. There are 50 apps we have to be installed. There have to be a process you have to go through. It's an audit company. You can't buy X party shares whom you are audit partners to. You can't do this. You have to sell off your shares. You have to work in a particular manner. So it takes time. It is not like इसका एक ड्राफ्ट बना दो उसका सेकंड ड्राफ्ट लिया उस पे लाल से लिख दिया उस पे ब्लैक से लिख दिया इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. You have to sit on a laptop. Everything is your work on your laptop and your keyboard. Your life ends at your laptop. Your work starts at your laptop. The moment you close it, works. There is a lot of talk about diversity and inclusivity. We are part of that diverse culture now, which includes veterans and, of course, equality, diversity, race, religion. You can't make a comment on somebody's dress, somebody's way he is dressing up for the day. It is not your problem. It is problem of somebody else to tell him ki that you are supposed to be this way, you are supposed to come in time or something. But understand this, these are part diversity inclusivity. You can't talk of anything about their sexual orientation or something. It's a big thing. This equality or diversity is like big, but of course we got preference here because we are part of that diversity hiring, veterans hiring. And if you are a woman veteran, you the team is happy because you get them double points on the diversity hiring, just on the lighter side, right? Adapt your leadership style to what is happening outside. There are office politics. The hand you have to work on your own. And if you're outside, you're looking at what 10 years, you should aim to grow in this organization. Aim to grow is comes to what you get on the table. You get don't get what you are expected to on the table, the door is shown. It is not that next posting will happen. No, nothing is going to happen. You're going to stay office for the next whatever days, right? Again, these are the basics. Build your network. You need your soft skills to come in. It is important. We already have it. Understand the corporate culture. Corporate culture seminars. I'm sure again saying Vipul has some. There are business which are coming out. Understand it's a business. It is not we are moving out from worthy to business. There all that everybody talks of is profits. How much does a business get on the table? That's it. If you understand that, you will have a better time than saying it in an organization to go to was happening like that. Once you move out, it's over. It's just over. Technology proficiency has to go up. I when I came out, I realized मेरे को तो word भी नहीं आता because there are so many features I didn't use any of them. I thought I knew Excel a lot. वो भी नहीं आता है because there are much more features. Understand the language. It's always good if we talk of things like due diligence, deep dive. And somebody was talking of wireframes. So somebody was talking of something like a swim diagram. So I was like confused. I asked them what's a swim diagram. It's the way the process flows. So if I say I'm going to make a swim diagram of the procurement process, it is the way the procurement process flows from one table to another. Or the good name is it's called a swim diagram. So whoever is doing an MBA or goes back to doing his resettlement course will understand this. So there is a social and cultural adaptation which is going to happen. You need to have some mentorship who is going to guide you. It's a continuous learning culture which is there outside. So, Vipul, I have finished. I am putting on the last slide which has my number and my mail IDs. Uh, Try to be correct on the mobile. I put over there. Prefer on LinkedIn. WhatsApp message may take time to be answered. Mails may take time to be answered. LinkedIn and WhatsApp by end of day. LinkedIn also by end of day will be answered. So this is what it
I
is.
just have one last question from you.
Yeah.
Typically, how much time did it take you for your transition, and how clear you were that this is where you want to be?
If you say consulting was not the number one on the charter, but yes, it was there. As I said, transition is not a immediate thinking process that today I'll start transition, I'll put up my papers, and 1 year I'll be outside. You have to think through it. Last 10 years, what I've been doing, what I want to do in next 2 years, and where I want to move out and get into a particular career. My initial choice was always operations, get into industry operations, but this came by, which was more the learning curve was much easier in consulting, and especially aerospace and defense consulting. So this became an obvious choice when it came through. So I would say look for a transition for at least 2 years, plan it for 2 years before you move out. Think on those lines before you move out. And everybody has different reasons to move out. You could be a short service officer where your tenure is ending or contract is ending. You could be a female officer taking off because of family reasons, or you are superannuating. Think about those lines. But yes, definitely, it's not a 1 year. It is a 2 year transition period that you look at before you move out.
Thank you so much for a very detailed and relevant presentation you gave us today. I'm grateful for your time and the effort put in. All the audience, they already have LinkedIn ID for Taposh. You can reach out to him, connect with him, and seek one-on-one mentoring. Thank you so much, Taposh.
Thank you, Vipul. Thank you for organizing, and we look forward to your next networking event whenever it happens in Delhi. And I just really suggest that we move out to other cities also now. So
Hmm.
a big
Well,
thanks a lot of people whom I know who are there. Zakaria sir, thank you very much.